I told you guys that we should definitely celebrate our wins as we get them, so that is exactly what I'm going to do. If the Democrats are doing things that we approve of, then they should get the praise that they deserve, especially after this election. Things have been a bit doom and gloom. So why not throw some joyful warrior spirit around? Because the Democrats understand the position that they are in. They have turned their focus to making sure that Biden appoints as many federal judges as possible. And that is a good thing for not only us, but for our country, for democracy as a whole. We need people who understand and care about the law in these federal judge positions, and that is what Biden is trying to do. In fact, he has been so successful, he might even pass the number of Trump appointments that he got in his first term. So let's go ahead and listen to Elizabeth Warren understanding the assignment of getting these federal judges through.
It's the reminder to the Democrats right now who are in charge for the next 50 days that we have a responsibility to help take care of the judicial system, to help strengthen our court system. We've got 28 judges out there who have been nominated, who are through the process. We need to spend every single minute making sure that those judges get confirmed. And look, I get it. Supreme Court has been captured by a radical wing. But this is about the courts of appeals and about the district courts. These are lifetime appointments. Donald Trump cannot remove them. And it helps bring a little more stability to our legal system. This is what the Democrats need to be spending every minute on until we get those judges confirmed.
And she is exactly right about that. The federal judges that Biden is able to appoint could be his longest lasting legacy. It is super important that we have competent, educated judges filling these spots. Because if Donald Trump is able to come in, all he is going to do is focus on getting people that are loyal to Donald Trump, who believe in the MAGA movement. So if Biden is able to leave as few vacancies as possible, that is ultimately good for democracy. And Donald Trump has definitely picked up on this, and he is not quite happy that Biden is trying to do the exact same thing that Trump did in his first term by pushing these judges through. As you can see here, Donald Trump says, the Democrats are trying to stack the courts with radical left judges on their way out the door. Republican senators need to show up and hold the line. No more judges confirmed before Inauguration Day. Fortunately for us, that is just not how it works. Presidents are elected for 4 full years, and they are constitutionally obligated to fill these judges' spots. So Donald Trump can cry all day long, but this is exactly the type of thing that he engaged in when he was a lame duck president. So I am glad that the Democrats are understanding this assignment. I am glad that they are making this a priority before Biden leaves office. And we can see Chuck Schumer here saying, you guys better be prepared to go late into the night because I am getting this job done.
Last night, I filed cloture on another 9 nominees to serve as district judges across the country, in Arizona, California, Massachusetts, Pennsylvania, D.C. So in total, I've now filed on 12 district court judges since the end of last week. We'll keep working to confirm these lifetime appointments. It's far too important, and we're not going to let anything stand in our way. And that's going to continue today. We expect to vote on as many as 3 judges today. Everyone should be prepared for another late night on Wednesday to vote on nominations and get as many judges done as possible.
I am loving this energy from the Democrats. This is the type of energy that they need to bring all of the time. They need to start being a bit more ruthless because their opponent, the Republican Party, just doesn't play by the rules. So we need people that are motivated to get these things done to strengthen this country instead of letting it fall to this MAGA wing of the Republican Party. So I'm super happy to see Chuck Schumer is out there making sure he is getting his people together so we can get these judges through. And on the other hand, Republicans seem a little discombobulated. Some of them are out hanging with Trump at SpaceX launches. I'm not sure where they're all at, but apparently they couldn't get themselves together to at least block any of these. I don't even know if that would have been possible anyway. They have been employing some delays as much as they can, but nevertheless, these judges are getting confirmed. Biden and the Democrats are doing the job. But here is Thom Tillis yelling at his Republican counterparts for not coming to work.
About a simple concept. I don't know. I think the American people's on board with me. We have to show up for work, right? I think we have to. The reason that we had 18 votes on Monday night is because some of my colleagues on my side of the aisle, folks, this is not a partisan, it is partisan in that I'm focusing on some of my colleagues. You got to show up for work. We've got work to do here, and I understand there are all kinds of good reasons, but there's no excuse to let Chuck Schumer force these judicial nominations down our throat. We got to show up for work. What happened on Monday night only occurred because Republicans were not here.
So as you can see, Thom Tillis a bit upset at the Republican caucus because they weren't there to push back on Chuck Schumer. It's really interesting that he's taking this stance because when Donald Trump was the lame duck, Thom Tillis was one of the key drivers behind making sure Donald Trump was able to get his judges confirmed before he left office. So now that the tables have turned, Thom Tillis isn't really much enjoying this. But this is what we have come to expect from the Republican Party. There are no principles. They hold Democrats to one standard and then hold themselves to zero standards. And this is just kind of the chaos that we seem to get. We even have people like this psychotic MAGA lawyer, Mike Davis, yelling at the Republicans as well.
President Trump appointed like 234 Article 3 judges in his first term, and I think Biden is up to 216 Article 3 judges. And if Elizabeth Warren and these left-wing radicals get their way, Biden is going to surpass President Trump's first term, and this is going to make an impact on these crucial courts. And
huge
so
impact.
How do you
Huge
stop
impact.
this? How do you stop this? It means Senate Republicans need to show up to work and grind the Senate to a halt.
Mike Davis can keep crying those MAGA tears. He is a terrible, terrible human. And just so everybody knows, don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure 90% of the judges that were confirmed during the Biden administration, 90% of them had bipartisan support. So it's not like Biden is going on the alternate path that Trump is and is just appointing all of these radical lunatics. No, that is what Trump does. That is not what Biden does. So don't let Mike Davis gaslight you into thinking that they are somehow not following the rules and they're just pushing these people through. This is a constitutional obligation that Biden has, and he is following all of the rules. They are being confirmed through the Senate just exactly how they are supposed to be. So Mike Davis can keep on crying. And if you are wondering why this is so important, if you wonder why the federal judges need to be filled with people who are competent, people who understand and respect the law, let's listen to a reporter here who kind of breaks that down for us.
This time around, though, with Trump's ambitions being much sharper than perhaps they were in the first term, some of his loyalists are saying, let's go for the firebrands, the people who have demonstrated not simply excellence in their legal preparation or academic background, but actually to prioritize their commitment to the agenda of the Trump administration. That was discussed actually at the Federalist Society convention last week, where a lot of the conservative legal movement's leaders gathered here in Washington, D.C. So there is likely to be a push for people on the bench who are not simply conservatives who are respected and can be expected to follow the legal methods that people like Justice Antonin Scalia championed, but also are likely to be sympathetic to very aggressive efforts by the Trump administration to push its legal agenda forward. The problem that he may face, though, is that the Democrats are determined to leave as few vacancies as possible on the federal bench. So the bench might not change that much. He might not have the opportunity to appoint as many judges as he would like. And we know that the members of the Supreme Court, none of them, as far as we know, have any plans of going anywhere. So Trump may have less of an opportunity to shape the bench in a second term, even if his ambitions are greater than he did the first time around.
So as you can see, it is super important. If Donald Trump comes in and there's a whole bunch of vacancies on the federal bench, he will be appointing MAGA loyalists. People who are extreme. They are radical. They are loyal to the MAGA movement and Donald Trump. Those are not the types of judges that we want to be giving life appointments. We have already seen how that turns out in the Supreme Court, and Donald Trump is poised to appoint another 2 Supreme Court justices. So we need to get as many judges in there as possible. We need to leave as few vacancies as possible to make sure there is at least some balance in our federal judiciary, and that they're not these young MAGA loyalists that are going to tear this country apart limb from limb. So I'm super happy that the Democrats understand the assignment, super pleased that they are showing this type of energy and getting these judges confirmed, because like I said before, this might be one of Biden's greatest legacies, and the country will be better off for it. So I will leave it there for now. If you guys got anything out of this video, please do remember to smash that like button and subscribe. Maybe share it with a friend or two. I'd very much appreciate that. Like I said, I am trying to make it to 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year, and I'm like this close, like 75, 70, somewhere in there. So I would very much appreciate your support on there. If you want to see the insane devastation that would be brought by mass deportations, go ahead and watch that video on the screen now. Otherwise, I'll see you guys on the next one.